Welcome back to the Real Estate and More Show. I'm your host, Michael Hatfield. Well, we're bumping up next to the new year. It's just right around the corner. We have big things to talk about with people this morning, their New Year's resolutions. I was just pondering about these resolutions. It's not that resolutions are so darn hard to think up. The issue is in their execution. I mean, actually doing them. We have several guests today that are going to share their resolutions with us. So welcome to the show. It's gonna be a resolution.
Well, you know, we're always talking about resolutions at the new year, always talking about them because we can't seem to get to them during the year. So we're going to talk to a few people and find out what their personal resolutions are for 2024. I have Jerry here, an awesome guy. He's always got something to say, something about the world, and also he's had a new birthday and he looks younger by the years. So Jerry, what are your resolutions for 2024?
I haven't made a lot of them right now, but I know as I think about it, probably 165. That's where I want to be when I'm walking around the streets. It's about time I got there, and I can do this, and I've struggled with it for years. But that's a really important goal, is my health.
Absolutely.
I have to have good health, and I've kind of not paid enough attention to that. So this year, starting before Christmas actually, because we're splitting meals now and watching what we put into our bodies. So that's one goal. Family always is top up there. We have a very close and happy family, and I just want to make it even better if I can, because they look to me as being the leader, and in the family, that's where I want to be. And more appreciation for things around me. I don't say thank you enough to a lot of people, to a lot of things, to God himself. He made my life great, and I can't repay that, but I can enjoy it and spread the word.
Absolutely. You know, I go back to where you first started and you said, my health, my health. We just had a well-known nutritionist, a person that has been involved in the health trade for a number of years, like a couple decades. Karen Owak, she's on Cron 4 all the time. She's a really neat lady. But her focus is that we do a lot of damage over the years to our bodies if we're not really paying attention and taking care of them the way that I should have been also. So we can do this damage over the years, and now we want to fix it. And it takes a lot more resolution than we've ever had in those prior years. And longevity is attached to it. And she also said that longevity is attached to gratitude. The gratitude and the attitude, the healthy outlook, is something that really makes for a long, enjoyable life.
I second that one for sure.
Anything to add to that, sir?
Gratitude is such a common word that people use. I'm not sure if all of them really understand how great a word that is.
Powerful.
It should be used 100 times a day. You know, talking with other people and thanking everything and everybody. I thank my car. It gets me to work every day. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, these are weird things to say, but I'm so pleased with my friends. With you, Michael Hatfield.
I don't know.
And your wife, Nancy. Just my favorite people. Great to just be part of your lives in some small way and to have these kinds of conversations. It makes me really happy and thankful.
Wow. Well, we couldn't have a better testament than that. Happy New Year to you, sir.
Oh, back at you.
The new year brings to us a new opportunity. It brings forth a new book of life, whether we're ready for it or not. We can create and write a book if we are wanting to have a personal guide to use ahead. After all, it is your book. One can choose to change nothing from last year, and that book will be simply a repeat of the preceding year's chapters. We can also scribe a new book of one's brand new dreams for the new year. Interestingly, T.S. Eliot said, "For last year's words belong to last year's language, and next year's words await another voice." And to make an end is to make a beginning. I say it is your book, your pages to write, your chapters, and you are its author.
We have Suzanne and we have Nancy, and they're both kind of like sparklers. So I'm going to ask Suzanne the first questions. Suzanne, tell me about your New Year's resolution. What do you want to do different?
So I am going to call that my year of being selfish. And so I am going to set my calendar so I'm not booking any appointments until after 10 a.m. so I can have my morning half to myself. And that's going to also include dedicating at least 30 minutes to some kind of self-workout or some kind of self-improvements.
Meditation?
Yeah, meditation,
Do you
yoga.
meditate?
I do. I meditate. I tend to do that in the evening, though.
Do you pray?
I do. I pray every morning, but it's more like doing yoga, Pilates, some kind of workout.
I like that too, because I find myself on a daily basis praying in the morning or just praying during the day. More like I think of it as just talking to my higher power.
Yes.
God.
Yes.
However you view that, but that's kind of makes me happy and makes me feel great and works well.
I actually incorporate prayer with a lot of my clients. We pray before we have meetings. We pray on their situations. So I incorporate that too. I think it's really empowering.
I agree.
But you had a second resolution.
I do, and that is taking at least one weekend every month for my husband and I to get away in our new van and just have some self-reflection and do a little fishing and get kind of get away from life.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of an Eagle song somewhere back in there. What's your next resolution for 24, dear lady, my wife?
So mine, I would say being in the present more often. I try to be in the present, not reflecting on past things and what's happened, maybe that I'm not so happy about, and maybe not worrying about the future, tomorrow, and this and that, and all the things I definitely can't control, but more or less just being present. I do that. I do try to do that. I'm hopeful that I'll be able to do that even more. So that's
a little
something.
Bit of gratitude there.
Yes,
How about
indeed.
You like gratitude?
Oh, yes, very much so.
It's an underrated word. I
Yes,
think
yes.
more gratitude could happen with everybody every day to keep on the positive side of life, because everywhere around us there's things going on that puts us into a nosedive. Resolution, maybe just to improve my attitude and keep that attitude in a positive way going into the new year.
And that's just self-reminding, you just remind yourself that I need to focus on all of the good things. And even when there are things that maybe we don't view as good, there's always a purpose and a reason for those. So I think that's just one way to look at that, Michael.
I think Mark Twain said, now's the time for all good men and women to put together the resolutions, and then 2 weeks from now, just go to Hades with them, because that's where they end up going. Nobody ever follows through. It's an execution thing.
Right.
I think it's an execution thing. Do you have any more about your resolutions for this next year? You're already in shape, so you don't have to worry about me. Like, I got to get in shape.
No, but it's more for just taking that time out in the morning for myself, like for my well-being. And because we just got through, a crazy 4 years of pandemic madness. So now it's time to mentally get back in shape.
Mm-hmm. I think it was you that was saying that during that period of time you were contributing to businesses, just to keep them alive, to get through that really tough time. But one of the problems is that people's memories are very short. They will forget. And the problems, and also sometimes the benefit, is they'll forget, like 9/11, they will forget. And it's good, to be reminded of that, that you go through tough times, it's a time to be really happy for what you have.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's why I'm taking some time out just to, now it's my time. Self-reflect and get back in mental shape.
What does the husband think about that?
Oh, he's already doing it. He takes about 3 hours every day
Oh my.
to do his routine of cold plunging and meditation. He goes on a hike. He does a workout. He takes all this time out for his own self, and I've seen this amazing transformation in himself.
What a great
Yeah.
role model.
Yeah, and he's working on writing a book, and so I just been seeing this transformation of taking his, I call it me time, and just seeing how it's reflecting through his book and through his attitudes. It's been amazing.
I talked with him once, and he told me about this cold plunging, and then how it actually recenters him.
Yes.
And I says, I just use coffee.
Michael.
Well, with him, it's not just recentering, but it's also the inflammation. For those who don't know, my husband played pro football for 11 years, and so he's got a lot of injuries in his body. And so it's just, it really has helped him with his inflammation and just weight loss and his mental. So it's been great.
Health and wellness. That's
Yes.
fabulous.
He's going to be on me now to take cold plunges, to lose the weight, and to get in better shape. And sounds like some wonderful resolutions for next year, ladies. And thank you for sharing, Suzanne and my beloved Nancy.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Real Estate Minute with RE/MAX expert Michael Hatfield. Michael, why choose an experienced agent?
Complex issues arise in a home buy or sell. Your agent guides you through issues in multiple offer situations, first-time home buyer needs, problems with inspections, financing, and escrow. Experienced agents sort and then solve problems.
Do agents work differently now than in prior years?
Buyers used to go to an office, thumb through a book, see pictures, then decide which homes to see. Nowadays, buyers identify properties themselves online so today's agent can focus on more critical priorities.
How do you help clients, Michael?
We work with investment properties, multiple offers, first-time home buyers, sellers, 1031 tax exchanges, and relocations. Experience is pivotal.
Call 925-322-7775 now to schedule an appointment or complimentary home analysis. Call the Michael Hatfield RE/MAX team at 925-322-7775 or go to michaelhatfieldhomes.com.
Now, back to our show.
No New Year is complete without talking to one of the best and even the best of the best of the best, his wife, to tell us what exactly is going on in the good doctor's life and what he's looking forward to. When you have just about everything, why would you ask for anything different? Have your patients giving you anything to move forward with in a New Year's resolution, Dr. Shree?
Yes, a lot. Before the patients, I want to make sure that I become a better person and accept some degree of who surround me at work. Every individual has some, at least, perceived flaws. But you have to accept them for who they are, not try to pick on them. I want to become a better person in accepting and engaging with everybody equally. And this is something that I am going to absolutely and resolutely follow for the new year, to be inclusive and accept different ideas other than my own and see what is the point that they're trying to make. I think that's a good resolution for me. That in turn will lead me to provide better patient care.
Well, I think you're already the best of the best. So trying to do better and the search of excellence is always great. Well, what say you, Mrs. Dr. Shree? What do you think about for the new year?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for the last 3 to 4 months. And I think there are 2 simple things that I have come up with I should probably strive to do. The first one is I have been overindulging and splurging in myself the last few years. I think I want to cut that down and give less focus on material things. Enjoy whatever I have so far and not wanting to keep getting more things, material things. That's number 1. And number 2, so I think I would like to be active. And the first step of doing that would be to start wearing my Apple Watch and get 10 to 12,000 steps every day. A very simple goal.
To take care of your health better
Yes.
than what you have in the past. Somebody said that, we've taken a lot of years and done a lot of damage. You just don't fix it overnight. And it's a change of habit. I have to say, from yours truly, in my viewpoint, my habits have not been that great and I need to improve upon them. What about the family as a whole? Your family, your wonderful family, what are they taking on as New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, my son, he's settled into a new house with my daughter-in-law and my beautiful granddaughter. We think, although we don't know whether we may want to have a second grandchild, but our daughter is finishing her nutrition master's and she's going to start as a nutritionist on June 1st. So we're excited to look forward to that. And of course, last but not the least, my bride here, Maya, is turning 60 next year. And we're excited to, I'm excited that she's going to join me in the 60 plus club.
Well, that's a good club to be in for sure. Now, we've spoken about gratitude, and a guest on the show a little bit earlier was talking about gratitude and all it means. And he said, that is a most underused word in the alphabet. And I mean, he's in the whole dictionary. He says we should be working that during the day 10 to 15 times, just being grateful for what we have. So what are your thoughts?
Absolutely.
I have a lot of gratitude to a lot of people. Of course, first, my mom, who raised me against all the odds and believed in me. And of course, my wife, who married me at a time when I was nobody. And if I have to think of professionally people who really lifted me up, I have to say there are three people who spring to mind immediately. One is there's a guy, David Weisinger. He is the chair of medicine in Valley Wise. Pasquale Palumbo in Mayo Clinic as a chair. And I would say Dr. Chris Appleton was a chair of cardiology when I was a fellow, who really helped me to get into going into electrophysiology with a lot of financial assistance, so that I had, by the time my kids were 10 years, and he really helped me through. So these are three professional people, and besides the profession, of course, I have to thank my mom and my wife for being with me through this journey.
Well, not to mention those children that you have that are no longer children. Incidentally, their son is a noted physician also.
We're going to take a short break. Be right back. RE/MAX.
Buying or selling a home? Choose the Michael Hatfield RE/MAX team with 10 offices in the Bay Area. Tell us more.
Working with Michael and Nancy, I was a first-time home buyer and I was very nervous about the process. I didn't really know what to expect. Michael and Nancy were able to take that fear away from me and answered all of my questions. They were right by my side the entire time, and they really helped me find the perfect home for me, and I'm so thankful.
Experience to the whole home buying process. He was very professional, and both Michael and Nancy went way above and beyond to help us achieve the house of our dreams.
When experience is important to you in buying or selling your home, call the Michael Hatfield RE/MAX team at 925-322-7775. When buying or selling real estate, let us help you. Go to michaelhatfieldhomes.com when experience matters to you. Call 925-322-7775.
Michael, what traits should we look for in selecting an agent?
Look for a deal maker with a positive attitude who will work tirelessly for you. An agent who is adept in multiple offer situations, drafting contracts, marketing and advertising a client's home, is familiar with multiple cultures, experienced in mortgage financing, inspections, and escrow, is a huge asset to his client.
What can you do as a plus for clients?
Your agent is your eyes and your ears, one who works behind the scenes on your behalf. A great attitude, working well with others, and keeping clients' priorities number one is a given for us.
Call 925-322-7775 now.
Now, back to our show.
But what I have to say is that you lead by example, and you've always led by example, and that's one of the greatest traits I think that a person can offer anyone else, especially going forward into the new year, just leading by example and saying, hey, I'm going to try to do better, and I'm hoping everyone else will too, and trying to be accepting of that too. It's always wonderful to speak with the good Dr. Sri from Mayo Clinic. He is one of the world's finest, and the reason really is that his wife is behind him. She is a force to be reckoned with, and a very, very nice person behind him. So thank you, Dr. Sri, and your lovely bride, Maya.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much for having us.
It's such an honor to know you and be there in your program. Thank you so much, Mike.
I personally am one of those persons who must have some kind of destination to chart my course. Thus, if I fail to write a new book when resolutions become due, I feel like a boat on the water without a rudder, just floating around aimlessly. I require a guide to move forward with conviction of any kind. Historically, the oldest message in a bottle was tossed into the Indian Ocean in 1886 from a ship, then bumped around in the ocean for 132 years before being found on a beach in Western Australia. It was bobbing around in the ocean all those years, drifting this way then that way on ocean currents with no set direction at the whim of the elements. In 1886, interestingly, the first year that households in Massachusetts received AC power, the Haymarket riot occurred in Chicago, the year the first tuxedo was worn to dinner, and Grover Cleveland was U.S. president. A whole lot of life, generations of families passed by, those 132 years of floating. Do I wish my life to be like that, or will I scribe a brand new book this new year with new direction, a goal that is both exciting and rewarding to move forward? It's a given that if I wake the day with a happy and joyful, grateful heart, my day's story will play out much more rewarding. Perhaps any resolutions that I make for the new year should be made with that same joyful attitude and happy heart. Ultimately, any story we write, it is ours, and we write it, each of us. Or we can default to what the story was last year. At dinner last night with a wonderful couple, we were discussing the issue of goal setting. I shared how most people are so darn busy earning a living, raising families, they do not set aside the time to really contemplate their goals and their direction. I used the example of how yours truly determinedly concentrated on a career direction way back in my teens and thus decided I was going to be a pilot. But now I find life so hectic and busy I forget to goal plan, and that is not a desirable mindset for me. I compare it to floating around in a bottle in the ocean, not knowing where it's going to end up. Okay, like when we pray, we should just get down on our knees when the moment strikes, but we should also plan time for goal setting. Now, I consider that if I do not plan and create goals, resolutions, then it is likely the upcoming new year may become a repeat of the year just past. Maybe we should celebrate the year's ending heartily so that we can have a clear slate to set a new beginning. I like the way Edith Pierce put it. We will open the book. Its pages are blank. We are going to put words on them ourselves. The book is called Opportunity, and its first chapter is New Year's Day.
Yeah, gratitude is very much a learned skill. So it's something that we do need to practice and on a daily basis. So practice, one way to practice is to every morning starting out with things that you're grateful for. Even appreciating yourself, not just other people, but appreciating what you are able to do every morning. So that's a real important part of just overall happiness. I promote mental funness versus mental toughness. I like to promote having fun.
So, the 5 F's for resolution.
Yes. I mean, we were just conversing, and it's all
F's.
No, it's about number one being the faith in your life, your family, your friendships, your finances, and on top of that, fun.
Absolutely.
The 5
What do you got to
Fs.
say about it?
I'm totally agree with the 5 Fs.
Okay, are you done now?
We're done.
Maybe not.
Always bear in mind your own resolution to succeed is more important than any one thing. That's Abraham Lincoln. And another calming thought is the best days of our lives haven't even happened yet, and we can always reinvent ourselves. Here's to a bright new year and a fond farewell to the old. Here's to the things that are yet to come and to the memories that we hold. Well, thanks for hanging out with us this morning. I've had a great time talking with some really nice people about their plans and their resolutions. After all, resolutions are important if you're going to have a plan in the new year and not just default to what you did the year before. So with that in mind, I'd like to say thanks to all and the very best ever of New Year's. You've been listening to Real Estate and More, interesting people, topics of the day like resolutions, and of course, there is real estate. You can listen to archive Real Estate and More shows at michaelhatfieldhomes.com/radio. That's michaelhatfieldhomes.com/radio. The Real Estate and More show is available on demand on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, iHeart, and on most directories as well. Tune in next week. Until then, have a wonderful new year and a blessed week.
The views and opinions expressed are based on current economic and market conditions and are subject to change. Information on the show provided for illustrator purposes only and does not constitute professional or legal advice. Information from sources deemed reliable, but accuracy and completeness not guaranteed. Michael Hatfield and the Michael Hatfield RE/MAX team have no liability for information discussed on the show. Consult with qualified professionals prior to taking action.
We at the Michael Hatfield RE/MAX team enjoy representing our valued clients. If you or someone you know is interested in buying or selling and wishes to schedule a complimentary appointment with the Michael Hatfield RE/MAX team, call us at 925-322-7775. That's 925-322-7775. Or go to our website, michaelhatfieldhomes.com.
I'm Michael Hatfield. Thank you for listening today. Join us next Saturday for the next Real Estate and More, when we again sharpen our focus on how's the market.
Join us next Saturday and have a wonderful week. Best wishes and blessings to you. DRE 01493761.
Please remember to go to our new YouTube handle, My Real Talk Show. That's My Real Talk Show at youtube.com, and touch that subscribe button. You can also find past aired shows at our handle, My Real Talk Show, on youtube.com.